We're going to go live right now to the Prime Minister, who's speaking to reporters following a tour of an affordable housing development in St. John, New Brunswick.
Working on bringing inflation down, and it's steadily been coming down over the past year. But we knew that we needed to be there to help make the math work for developers to actually build it. I know the city has programs as well to support the construction of particularly affordable and middle-income range rental housing. We're going to continue to be there to make sure that everyone is working together to build the kind of future we need for Canada.
Next question.
Bonjour, Sébastien Caron pour ces médias. On sait que la construction de logements a un autre problème aussi, c'est la main-d'œuvre.
Housing construction, and that's labor. What will be done to make progress on that front? Unfortunately, we are suffering from a labor shortage across the country, especially in the healthcare sector and as well in construction. This is why we are in the process of seeing how we can accelerate the certification of workers and bring in people who can get started working right away, building homes for the community. Immigration is part of the solution, but we need to continue to do it responsibly. But that's exactly what we'll continue to do. Next question.
I know the city's application was originally put for $14.5 million. I think the mayor say about $9.8 million is given. What went into determining how much each municipality received?
We put forward $4 billion a couple of years ago for the express purpose of making sure that cities were able to meet their own ambitions for growth, for opportunity for their citizens. There is a lot of hard work and a lot of partnership going into looking at what could actually be done, what is the right level of it. We came down with an agreement around $9.18 million for the Housing Accelerator Fund, which we feel is the right level to really enable St. John to accelerate, to get more homes built faster, to get people into those homes in an affordable way, and we're really pleased with that announcement.
Next question.
Good morning, Prime Minister. I wanted to ask about the SIBA program. Of course, the deadline is coming up tomorrow. What was the reasoning behind not extending that program, and is there any concerns about the impacts this could have on businesses who are still trying to recover from COVID?
We have consistently been there for small businesses across this country since we got elected, since 2015, where we lowered small business taxes. We've actually increased the capacity of small businesses to grow and still benefit from small business taxes. And during COVID, we knew we had to step up right away to support small businesses so people could keep their doors open, keep their employees on the payroll. We stepped up with significant supports, including direct help to Canadians, but also direct help to small businesses with the Sia Loans. We understand that things, even as the economy has bounced back from COVID, continue to be challenging, which is why we extended twice the repayment deadline for the Sia Loans. But we are now far enough from the pandemic that we do have to wrap up pandemic programs. Businesses have a number of different options if they're facing challenges around the Sia Loans. One is obviously, as the majority of businesses have done, they can repay the Sia loan by the 18th and benefit from the forgiveness that comes with that. If they can't quite make it by the 18th, there are plenty of financial institutions who are there to give low-cost loans to be able to benefit those businesses as they continue to repay it over the coming years. And if they don't want to engage with their financial institutions, they still have 3 years to repay the entire body of the loan. So there are many different options out there, and as a government, we're going to continue to be there and look for ways to encourage small businesses that are the backbone of our communities, the backbone of our economy. We will continue to be there for them in many different ways, but pandemic supports, we all know, had to end at one point.
répéter en français, s'il vous plaît?
Bien sûr.
In French, please?
Nous avons toujours été là pour
Of
nos
course.
petites entreprises.
We've always been there for Canadian businesses, and we understand just how much these businesses are really at the core of not only our communities, but the economy.
On a agi rapidement.
And that's why when they were impacted, we responded quickly to help businesses, particularly small businesses, continue to get through these extremely difficult times. Of course, with the economic recovery, and we're now past the pandemic, and we knew that the time would come, and also given the inflation that we've seen over the last few years. So we've already given 2 extensions to the SIBA deadline. Businesses now have various options. They can repay the loan before the 18th, as the majority of small businesses have been able to do in the last couple of years. They can also work with their financial institution to refinance the loan and continue to benefit from the return that we're offering. Or they can take 3 years to pay back the full loan amount at extremely favorable interest rates. We will continue to work with small businesses across the country to ensure that we continue to create growth and help them in various ways. But the COVID supports at some point did have to come to an end. And that will be now.
Oui. Marie-Ève Bégin,
Next
Radio-Canada,
question.
bonjour. Je demande pour CBC aussi, évidemment.
I'm also asking on behalf of CBC
concernant l'exemption sur la taxe carbone pour le chauffage
about the
au
carbon
mazout,
tax
ici en
exemption
Atlantique, ça
for
a permis
fuel
de
oil.
calmer une certaine grogne au sein de votre caucus ici en Atlantique.
Some of the members of your caucus here in the Atlantic have mentioned this. Do you think that this has raised the popularity of your party in the Atlantic provinces? It was never an issue of popularity. The point was responding to the real, actual needs that people have with the volatile pricing that we're seeing in energy costs and inflation. We understood that people, and not just in the Atlantic provinces, but across the country, are suffering. They're suffering from the cost of home heating oil, which is also based on international pricing. But also because home heating oil pollutes more than other forms of home heating. So the goal was to get past the use of home heating oil. And the price on pollution was not the adequate tool at the time to help people make that transition. Therefore, we decided to put a pause on pollution pricing on home heating oil.
We've been listening to the Prime Minister speaking to reporters following a tour of affordable housing development in St. John, New Brunswick, talking a lot about different issues, including the repayments of SIBA.